Good morning, all. Welcome to ISC Geography Class 11. Today we will continue Chapter 5 Landforms of the Earth. Today is day 4. Today we will study from page number 96 to page number 99. First of all, let us go through the objectives we have done in the last class. In the last class, that is on day 3, we have studied about plateaus, classification of plateaus and man. The objectives of today's class are plains, classification of plains and man. First of all, let us go through the technical terms that are related to today's topic. The first term is plains. A plain is a broad area of relatively flat land. Structural plains or coastal plains. These plains are mainly formed by the upliftment of a part of the sea floor or continental shelf. Continental shelf is an area adjoining the continent and the sea. Erosional plains or destructional plains. These are formed due to the agents of degradation. Some of the erosional plains are Niagara Plains in the USA and the Lorraine in France. Peneplains. These plains are formed due to wearing and tearing of hills by agents of gradation on a piece of land or a relatively flat land area produced by a long period of erosion. Example, the peneplains of the Pyrenees between Spain and France. The next term we have is monadnocks, an isolated hill or erosion resistant rock, that means very hard rock, rising above a peneplain. Monadnock, a solitary mass of rock which is 3,165 feet or 965 meters in Monadnock State Park, southeast of Keene in Cheshire County, southwestern New Hampshire, USA. A well-known example is Stone Mountain in Georgia, US. Karst plains, formed from the dissolution of soluble rocks such as limestone, dolomite and gypsum. The world's largest limestone karst is Australia's Nullarbor Plain, located in South Australia. Depositional plains or constructional plains, formed by the deposition of materials brought by various agents of transportation such as rivers, wind, waves and glaciers. Examples are Mississippi Delta in USA and Indus Plain in Pakistan. Alluvial plains. An alluvial plain is a largely flat landform created by the deposition of sediment over a long period of time by one or more rivers coming from highland, from which the alluvial soils are formed. Example, the Indo-Gangetic Plain across India, Bangladesh and Pakistan and Po Valley in Italy. Piedmont alluvial fans or bhabur, a triangle-shaped deposit of gravel, sand and smaller materials called alluvium at the foothills of mountains. Example, the Bhabur belt in Uttaranchal in India. Floodplains. A floodplain is an area of land adjacent to a stream or river which stretches from the bank of its channel to the base of the enclosing valley walls and which experiences flooding during period of high discharge, that is in the rainy season. In countries of Bangladesh, and India, an extensive floodplain borders the Ganges and the Brahmaputra rivers. The floodplain covers 80% of Bangladesh and Bihar, and annual flooding kills hundreds of people each year. When flooding is greatest, the 75% or more of the country may be covered by water, causing much loss of life and property. Drift plain forms when a sheet of ice becomes detached from the main body of glacier and melts in place, depositing the sediments it carried. The southern Iowa drift plain is certainly the largest of Iowa's landforms regions. Iowa is a state in Midwestern United States bordered by the Mississippi River to the east and the Missouri River and Big Sioux River to the west. The next term is till plains. A till plain is an extensive flat plain of glacier till. Till actually means rocks and boulders that form when a sheet of ice becomes detached from the main body of a glacier and melts in place, depositing the sediments it carried. Example, glacial till plains in Ohio. It is a state in US. Marginal moraines. Moraines are actually the rocks, pebbles and sediments deposited by any glacier. So marginal moraines are the sediments deposited at the edge of glacier. Outwash plains. Outwash plains are formed in front of a glacier and are material deposited over a wide area carried out from the glacier by meltwater. Lacustrine plains. Plains formed by deposition of sediments in a lake basin give rise to old lake plain or a lacustrine plain. Example, the Valley of Kashmir. Loess plain. Loess is actually the sand particles which is deposited by the wind. A loamy deposit formed by wind, usually yellowish and calcareous, common in Mississippi Valley and in Europe and Asia. Let me tell you that Mississippi is the longest river of USA. Coastal plains. A coastal plain is a flat, low-lying land adjacent to the sea coast. Some of the largest coastal plains are in Alaska and the southeastern United States. Lava plains. A lava field, also called lava plain or lava bed, is a large expanse of nearly flat-lying lava flows. Such features are generally composed of highly fluid basalt lava and can extend for tens or even thousands of miles across the underlying terrain or landform. Example, Hell's half-acre Snake River Plain, Idaho, USA. Now, let us start the topic for today. Plains. Plains are relatively flat and low-lying land surface with least difference between its highest and the lowest point. The plains are usually lowlands. The main characteristics of a plain are clear from some important definitions listed below. According to Seaman, plains have low relief and have more flat land than slope. According to Worcester, plains are lowlands of low relief underlain by horizontal strata. According to Finch and Tivartha, The term plain is applied to all land that is relatively low with respect to sea level and has a local relief less than about 500 feet. Most plains of the world are flat lowlands, but some of them may be rolling plains while others may be located at much higher elevation. A plain may be as low as 30 meters to the east of the Mississippi River near the Appalachian Range and as high as 1500 meters above sea level to the west of the river. The Great Plains of North India are just at a height of about 6 to 8 meters above sea level near the mouth of Ganga river, that is in West Bengal, and attain an average height of 200 meters in Punjab. The Kashmir Lake Plain reaches an average height of 1700 meters above sea level. Now let us study about the classification of plains. Plains can be classified according to their position and surface relief, but are better classified on the basis of their mode of formation. Now here you have the flow chart which shows the different types of plains. Let us discuss all these types one by one. First we have structural plains. These are also known as coastal plains and are normally formed by the uplift of continental shelf. The coastal plain lying between the Appalachian Piedmont Plateau and the Atlantic coast of southeast United States is an example of uplifted coastal plain or structural plains. The Malabar coastal plain in Kerala of India is also the result of uplift of continental shelf. On the other hand, there are structurally depressed areas which form very extensive lowlands. Structural plains include the Great Plains of Russian Platform, the Great Plains of USA, and the central lowlands of Australia. Erosional plains. These places are also known as destructional plains. They have been formed as a result of erosion of some elevated tract of land such as mountain, a hill or a plateau. The erosional work is done by river, glacier, wind, underground water and sea waves. Erosional plains are of following types. Peneplains. Over long ages, the higher land is leveled down into a sort of plain. The surface is hardly smooth and forms almost a plain termed as peneplain. Residue of hard rocks stand above the general level of land and are known as monadnocks. Paris Basin, upper part of Mississippi Basin and central part of Russia are good examples of peneplains. Karst plains. The underground water dissolves rocks in a limestone area. This results in the erosion of limestone area and a karst plain is formed. The plain of Yugoslavia in Adriatic Sea coast, plains of Kentucky, Tennessee and Florida in USA, and the Cuban plain and that of South France are examples of karst plains. Plains of glacial erosion. Vast areas of land were covered by ice in the Ice Age, which eroded highlands to form plains. Even today, glaciers are eroding uplands on a large scale and resulting in the formation of plains of glacial erosion. Such plains are found in Canada, Siberia, Sweden and Finland. Desert plains. These plains are formed due to erosional work of wind in the desert areas. Parts of Sahara in Africa are wind eroded plains. Some other desert plains of the world are the desert plain of Southwest America, the Patagonia in the southern Andes, the Western Australian Great Victorian Desert, the Thar Desert of India, etc. Depositional plains, also known as constructional plains. The depositional plains are formed as a result of deposition of materials in lowlands such as depressions, lakes and seafloor. Most plains in the world are depositional plains. The depositional work is mainly done by moving water or rivers, glaciers, winds, sea waves and volcanic eruptions. Following are the chief types of depositional plains depending upon the age of deposition. Alluvial plains. The plains formed by depositional work of rivers are known as alluvial plains. Finch has divided these plains into three categories. The first is Piedmont alluvial fans or bhabur, second floodplains and third delta plains. So we can see in this diagram that of mountains we have the bhabur. It is actually an area of rocks and pebbles where the river water can disappear. In India it is called Bhabur belt, or we can say it is the Piedmont alluvial fans. So when the alluvial is deposited at the foot of mountains, it forms Piedmont plains like Bhabur in Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh along the Himalayan belt. So in this picture you can see that there are rocks and pebbles scattered at the foothills of Himalayas. When sediments are deposited along the middle course of the great rivers, extensive floodplains like those of North Bihar are formed. So this is the picture of geomorphology or the relief of the plain. So we can see here Terai region is found in the south of Bhabur. Terai is actually a marshy area where the rivers they re-emerge, which has disappeared in the Bhabur belt. Then we have the Bangar and Khadar belt. Bangar is actually the old alluvial soil and Khadar is new alluvial soil. Great loads of sediments are spread over land every year during the floods. The delta plain are formed along the mouth of rivers like Ganga under favorable conditions. The Indo-Ganga plains in the Indian subcontinent, the Huanghe plains of North China. So this is the map of Asia where we have the great river valleys. We can see in Iraq we have the great plain of Mesopotamia. In India and Pakistan, Indo-Gangetic plain. Then we have the plain of North China. So these plains are formed by the sediments deposited by rivers. The Po river plains of Lombardy in North Italy and that of Nile are great examples of alluvial plains. River Nile is called the lifeline of Egypt, or Egypt is called the gift of Nile because Egypt is located in the Sahara Desert, but it has fertile soil due to the alluvial deposited by river Nile, which is the longest river of the world. So agriculture is possible in Egypt due to river Nile. Drift plains. The plains formed by the depositional work of glaciers are known as drift plain. There are three types of drift plains according to their mode of formation. Till plains have been formed by deposition underneath the ice. Marginal moraines, they were formed by the deposition of the sediments at the edge of glaciers. As I told you, moraines, they are the sediments deposited by the glaciers. So this is the diagram where we can see different types of plain. Lake plain, that is lacustrine plain, till plain, glaciated Appalachian plateau are found between the eastern coast of USA and the Great Lake Plain of USA. Outwash plains, they have been formed by the glaciofluvial sills. Here glaciofluvial means glaciers and rivers. Sills, I told you, they are the pebbles which are deposited by the glaciers. So outwash plains have been formed by the glaciofluvial sills starting from the end of the melting of ice. The plains of North America and Northwest Europe are drift plains. Ladakh has a glacial plain to the east of Shyok River in north of Chenmo River. Lacustrine plains. Deposition of sediments in a lake basin give rise to old lake plain known as lacustrine plain. The valley of Kashmir, the Imphal basin in Manipur hills are examples of lacustrine plains. The fertile plain areas have made them the areas of good agriculture and thick population within the mountains. Loess plain. I told you earlier also that loess is a sediment which is deposited by the wind. So loess plains are formed by the depositional work of wind. So they are found mostly in the form of sand dunes. Winds carry very fine dust particles known as loess from barren surfaces of the interior deserts to the adjoining areas. The loess plains are found along normal margins in West Rajasthan, Russian Turkestan and northwest China. Coastal plains. The coastal plains are formed due to depositional work of sea waves which drive the beach material landwards. It results in the formation of marine swamps, mud flats and tidal lowlands. A good portion of coastal plains of Belgium, the Netherlands and Palestine are examples of plains emerging as a result of deposition of sea waves. Next, we have lava plains. When the lava erupting out of volcano is thin, it spreads over a vast area and forms a lava plain. Now children, we'll discuss the importance of plains to human. So the topic is plains and man. Plains have influenced man to a great extent. Man has been living in the plains since the dawn of civilization. Many civilizations developed in the plains and they are often called the cradle of civilizations. Man draws the following benefits from the plains. Agriculture. Plains are flat and fertile areas which are ideally suited for agriculture. Irrigation is easily done by canals as well as by tube wells and wells. It is estimated that about 85% of world's agricultural produce is obtained from the plains, whereas they occupy only 41% of the Earth's land surface. The Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Huanghe Plain, the Mississippi Plain, the Nile River Plain are some of the outstanding examples of fertile agricultural plains. Transport. Plains are flat areas and provide ideal locations for the construction of roads and railways. There is a dense network of roads and railways in the northern plains of India because roads and railways can be easily built in the plain area as compared to mountains or plateaus. The density of transport routes is less in peninsular plateau area and it is negligibly small in the Himalayan region. Water transport is also developed in the plain areas because in the plain areas rivers are deep, they flow sluggishly or slowly without making any waterfall. Population. Plains are mostly densely populated areas of the world. About 90% of the world's population lives in plains. The rich, fertile soils, easy means of transport, and the rapid pace or speed of industrialization and urbanization have led to high concentration of population in the plains. Here we can take the example of the Great Plain of Ganga and Indus from Pakistan and India, the Great Plain of Huanghe, Yangtze-Kiang and Xinjiang River in East China, and the river valleys of North and South America. So they are densely populated parts of the world as we can see in the given world map. Industries. High population density and easy transport system have led to large-scale growth of industries in the plains. The high concentration of population provides cheap labor and ready market. Cheap and efficient transport system helps in carrying raw materials to the manufacturing center and the finished products to the market. However, plains badly lack in mineral resources and have to be obtained either from plateaus or from the mountains. Urbanization. Much of the world's urbanization have taken place in the plains because of favorable conditions for the growth of urban areas existing in the plains. The favorable conditions for the growth of urban areas in the plains are good climatic conditions for living, good means of transport, flat level land which has resulted in agricultural development, more and more industrial growth, large amount of water, etc. With this, we complete our today's topic. Hope that you have understood the topic. Now children, let us sum up the objectives done in this chapter. In this chapter, we have studied about endogenetic forces, classification of endogenetic forces, folding and types of folds, faulting and types of faults, landforms associated with endogenous process, mountains, classification of mountains, fold mountains and plate tectonic theory, block mountains, volcanic mountains, residual or dissected mountains, and mountains and men. We also studied about plateaus, classification of plateaus and men, plains, classification of plains, and plains and men. Now it's the time for you to take the homework. You have to solve and learn the questions given at the back related to today's topic. You have to write the answers of the following 4 questions in your fair copy. The questions are: define a plane, classify planes according to their origin, explain them with examples. Question number 3, explain the importance of planes to men. Question number 4, why are planes ideal for human habitat? Children, you must read the chapter from page number 96 to page number 99. You must go through the school link and YouTube link given in your homework. We will very soon meet in the next video with a new chapter and new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.